Alright, do we got effects now, or what? Okay, I think we got a setting set up now. Let's check it out. Check one.
Hi. You're on the air. Station hotline is ringing. Let's try that. Hi. You're on the air. Station hotline is ringing. Let's try that. Hi.
I like to make sure people know when I'm recording, you know what I'm saying? It's just like something I kind of flow with, and like, yeah, we're recording, like, so yeah, this is the room, like, so the room knows, like, jungle elves and trolls and dwarves are crawling around everywhere.
And I don't want you to, like, overthink or be into, no, not you, but just anybody, right?
Yeah.
Station hotline is ringing. Let's try that. Hi. You're on the air. Station hotline is ringing. Let's try that. Hi. You're on the air.
We got this set up right now, just like it's flex. We got the flex. Yeah, and keep in mind.
Greatest adventure, the greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow are yet to be said. The chances, the changes are all yours.
Go, it's every question, but I hope you just keep on flowing. Somehow, sometimes you might be real slow. Sometimes, somehow, you might just be a little bit like you're the pro and things are just going way too fast.
Station hotline is ringing. Let's try that. Hi. You're on the air.
Get back on the line, over.
You big revolution. Bubba was a gumbo. Bubba had a gumbo. Bubba had a one time.
Yeah, we'll get right with you getting this set up. The elves are running around. They even made some kind of acorn cookies. Like a bunch of squirrels and elves in here right now. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Wake the farm ups. Wake the farm up at the elfiest Elfstead ever. Elfin it.
Yeah. Let's talk dirty. Dirt wire.
Wake the farm up.
Wire under the soil.
Wake the farm up.
Yeah, what are you doing, Peter? He's checking out the things, getting it ready to getting in the groove of it. Fireside. Have you had your fireside? Yeah, we got fireside. We got fire on our side. First we take some cayenne peppers and some ginger root. Chop them up real nice and fine. Squeeze and chop in some lemon to the rind. Then we get some horseradish root. Yep. And then we chop that up too. Put that in there. And just squish it up a little bit and make sure it's all crush. And then shake it up in the jar with that apple cider vinegar dripped over top of it. And then let it soak for some weeks and weeks. Yeah. This is one of the elves that mixes it up, makes the recipes, the one that scribes them, you know, it's like a little, there's so many of them. You ever heard of them chipmunks? Yeah, we know about them chipmunks. I'm hearing about these chips. The elves, they don't even like taxonomy. They just see how everything is one. And there's so many of them. Yeah, there's so freaking many of us. What? How many can there even be? Shit ton of us, man. There's more than you can even think. So if you started naming of them, you would already be overthinking it.
Hello. Oh, this is my regular voice. This is my regular sexy ass voice. Where's the cartoon voice?
Let's see what kind of
My
processing.
voice is too sexy. Who want to hear a cartoon voice? You will hear all this sexiness. Ow. Real voice. This hurt. Real voice.
Here, chop it out over here. I think there's some more elves over here, but yeah, you're right. Your voice is very, very sexy. Hello. This my sexy voice. It's slow. It's still my sexy voice. Hello. Why so slow? In my sexy voice. Oh, in my sexy voice. Oh, don't put it. See, I can do a whole song to that, right? In my sexy, okay, we about to drop a song. Little elves are out here doing so many things. They're making sure they're going to the chicken to make sure all that there's little things over there. There's little things over there. What are you talking about? He's got so much respect. Look, he's out here in the mother farming elf house. Fuck that shit. We in an elf's house. Oh, we in an elf's house. I'll say this, yeah. That's why I can't check it out. Get loose with it. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you don't know I got beat. Yeah, we want to hear them beat. Shocked and look like Larry. Yeah, you remember what happened to Larry? No, I don't remember which one is Larry. I don't even know who Larry is because we didn't even name many of them. Yeah, but Larry was an elf that got electrocuted. When you get electrocuted, you get named. Oh, that's how you do it? Okay. Cool.
All right, you guys, enough. Okay, I think we got this thing set up.
Yeah, I think
Flowing.
we played enough.
It's flowing pretty good now. You like it? I need to like.
I feel like we had so much fun.
I didn't even tilt this way more. But it's like I'm using my eyes in all the different zones. Oh, plus I got. Cause I get all tilted in like Nate Deep. I don't know, cause I just like I'm overthinking.
Instead of saying the
I love-
fuck, say the farm.
The farm.
Anyway, all right,
Yeah.
ready?
Is this the Farmageddon?
No, this is not the end. This is the beginning. The beginning.
Here,
The beginning.
something. No, right here, on this side.
Good biscuit. How we looking? How you guys feeling? Oh, look at them all over there. They're crawling out of
I
the
mean,
caves.
they turning up as they should be. We just waking the farm up.
Yeah, we flipping through the pages. Yeah, and there's, some different measures of frequencies and different levels of currents and different flows in which different words can bring things together and help articulate. And then as a culture and as a creatures that are moving on the earth at the same time, we can propel ourselves further into the future. And sometimes when we run across different creatures like that on our journey, we know that we're going absolutely the right direction, I would say. And it's been pretty consistently in how it's been working. So, everybody, let's welcome Patrice, Powrgurlz. This.
The farm.
Hey.
I like how you broke all of that down.
Yeah,
Like,
Patrice here.
that was so dope.
She got. Remember that episode where you were talking about? Sorry, I cut you off, did I?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, the elves, they're excited. They can't help it. They're jumping all around here. They're
crazy.
pulling
Why?
on my
I mean,
ears.
calm
That's
down,
how.
y'all.
That's
Hold
what
on.
makes my.
Why they on the
what
walls though?
Look at them.
Oh my god.
What?
Get your
So yeah,
elves.
that's why they
Get
like.
your elves though.
So yeah, like.
Crazy. Like,
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So I think that maybe if we could just like get into this. So yeah, remember that episode where she was talking about like purpose? Yeah. What's the purpose? What's up? What's your purpose, people?
I'm sorry. What are you
Let's get
saying?
into it, okay?
Are you saying that you're reflecting back to a past episode that I did?
Now let's move forward. Moving forward.
Yeah,
like
because-
message frequency didn't address the tractor.
That was it. And the goal is always to move and to check in with the purpose. Always to make sure that you're in line with the path. And that just makes sense of the movement and the rotations of the motion, right? So we're wrapping up the year for people. It's hibernation season. It's time to where we're plowing or we're like, I kind of like feel like we're doing the things like, I don't know, what do you call it? Like, to me, it kind of feel like nursing where you're just kind of like taking stock and just like checking in with yourself, with your spirit, and just prepare yourself.
Rooting down deep zones.
Oh, what you said there?
Slowing down the time a little bit. Just take it easy and, giving thanks for the simple things like a hot cup of tea on a cold night outside. How you like this fireside?
I mean, the fireside is
Yeah, girl.
fireside.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fireside.
it's warm, it's cozy, it's everything we're looking for just on a winter night. So,
Fireside.
boom, boom for the vibe.
Saucy.
We love it.
Yeah.
We love it. Okay, so wake the farm up.
tell
What's
us about
been
it.
going
Yeah,
on?
tell us about-
What's
yeah.
been going on in the farm with you?
Oh, just harvesting different things. Just ate some of the last persimmons. They dropped a little bit earlier this year, but they do their things. They come and go as when they want. And yeah, I've been connecting with them. There's definitely like this feeling of connection of plants that are growing around you over a period of time, where you feel a sensation that they're adoring you. They're looking at you when you're walking by. Just like, years ago,
So
I'd walk by plants.
Are you talking about a fruit?
Well,
are we talking about a nut? Are we talking about a tree?
I'm talking how many miles per simmon I can talk. It's
What is
like
a
so many
persimmon?
bushels per minute. It's so crazy.
What is a persimmon? Go back.
It's a Diospyros virginiana. It's a tree, and in the tree, in the form of sense that it grows tall and it grows branches and it's woody. It gets a hard fibrous base root that you can use to cut up, and you can use it to make for firewood, or you can carve it and use it into other things too. Persimmon wood's very wonderful one to connect with, and there's a.
Station hotline is ringing.
There's just a lot of different ways in which you can integrate your relationship with the plant, but the most common is the fruit. And when it's not ripe, it's really bitter. You can't even swallow it. But when it's ready and it lets you know, it's like all the chemicals in there, just like such a perfect. It's like dates. It's like almost familiar. Like a custardy date from a tree. Okay. And yeah, they're native to this region and. Have been for a long time. There are varieties in other parts of the world that people have cultivated into different sizes and shapes and have different varieties of all sorts. Yeah, the kind I have here that I've been collecting are the wild sort that have been growing here since before I was here, and I've just encouraged them, and now there's more trees than there was before that are producing fruit.
So you've been out harmonizing with nature as you do in your elf life.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
And all the elfies been
That's what I've been up
rolling
to.
and rolling with you, right? I love that. Thanks for let me just say thanks for inviting me back to Wake the Farm Up. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. Even though we hang out in real life, it's always a pleasure to connect with you in this life and what you're doing with the people and just spreading the word and spreading the message. One of my passions is production. So it's kind of like hand in hand. So thank you.
Yeah, I know something's good coming here. So what kind of production things, have you been excited about? What kind of things are you up to recently that's been new, inspiring you?
Well, wrapped up a couple of projects, which is always exciting. Just in the space of imagining something and making it a reality and completion. So a couple of episodes I've directed for a couple of organizations here, in Cincinnati. I've produced a couple of shows that will be coming up soon. In order to know, follow me, Powrgurlz ENT, POWRGURLZ ENT.com. That's how you follow me. But I'm doing that. But it's a new year. So what I'm looking for and what I'm most excited about is planning for new productions, right? We got the Juneteenth parade that's going to be coming up again, June in 2025. We're moving into our 4th year. Year 5, we'll be producing our documentary about the history of Juneteenth and the history of Juneteenth in Cincinnati. And it's a lot of different, just movements, different productions. It's all about the energy. It's all about connecting artists to the community and the community to great opportunities to just grow and thrive. To me, production means connections, and call me the connector.
Connected.
I know, I hit that hard, didn't I?
Love it. Connected on the air.
So yeah, those are things I'm excited about. I'm very excited to hear Anno perform today. He's been doing his thing this year, so I'm very excited to see what he's going to share with us tonight and what he has planned for 2025. For sure. What is it looking like for you as you're wrapping up this year, as they say, and moving on to your new year?
Oh, it's really good. I'm flowing, from one thing to another. And yeah, it's endlessly this humorous, cosmic experience, where there's these plans and these like flows and dendritic patterns in which I'm cruising on. It's like sometimes it's down, when you're going downstream, all of a sudden there's a waterfall. It's like, whoa! And then there's like other rocks and things, and you just go around them. It's kind of like that, but it's like in real life, and the whole entire time it's just like this flow. And that's where you go, and it's been amazing. Like I keep going to amazing places and finding myself on this amazing. I'm ready to rise to, the adventure of life. I have a wonderful place here that I can rest when I need respite, and I'm probably in one of the better places I feel like I've ever been in my life, honestly. And I think honestly, when you really get into a good flow state, that's probably how you feel most of the time. It's like I feel better, like just even saying that sentence better than the last sentence I said, even, makes more sense to where I'm trying to get to anyway. So it's like getting exciting, it's like, that. Yeah. That whole articulation's been really fun, learning, different depths, connecting with different professors and all the academia, but also people who are like on the ground running, touching things with their actual hand, who all these like academia people are extracting information from, and, I am, amazed watching the technology right now too, and how people lean into this and that. And there's like these glasses now that have cameras on them, and they are like AI assisting glasses, and they like seem like they must be common if they're like advertising every time I look at the Instagram handle to like, make some sort of adjustment about something. And, there's a lot of stuff like that going on. It's like, what kind of, biological existences are there? How do they integrate? How is it that when I am connecting and talking to another biological friend over a phone line, there's like somehow some sort of biological experience, just even from the words, of like, what somebody says, and like that color map that comes inside of your head when your eyes are closed, it's easier to see, but you can see it even when they're open. When somebody tells like a good story, like Dr. Mushroom earlier today, we're telling stories, he was a great
storyteller, right?
Like these caves and things, like it felt cold even just from his voice. He didn't even have to say anything about
it. One day,
the temperature.
They were walking, and it was dark, and they said, "There's Mr. Mushroom." I ain't had nothing else though. I was hoping this would come with some music. Like I'm a one-man show, but I need a little backup, and I don't feel like I'm not Dr. Mushroom. But those stories he was telling was so profound. But this is the difference. Not only was he giving us like a very energetic, compelling story, but he was actually giving us some valuable information. So let's not be removed from the information that he was sharing with us, as far as let's go back to nature. I mean, we realize that the earth really provides. Let's move back to the basic things that we understand that's available to us. So thank you for sharing him with us.
Yeah, for sure. In that regard, it's like, I'm curious, like, since last we've gotten to, like, hang out and talk and go into these things, like, what are some ways that perhaps nature, has communicated and come to you and shown itself to you, kind of as he, Dr. Mushroom was describing, like, how to find certain mushrooms as they find you, kind of thing.
And
like,
you shall find.
Yeah, where has nature found you?
Well, one of the things I told Dr. Mushroom is, like, where is those one mushrooms? Like those one mushrooms, and just get into that, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother different podcast.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's always just back to the basics. I think what he said: seek and you shall find. For real, that is the basics. Just kind of sitting back and just being patient and just kind of like figuring out what you want for your life and just really manifesting that. And I think I'm just moving in that space. And that's not always an easy space to move in, because in that space it means that you can move away from some people in that's not in the same space that you're going to, right? And what that looks like for you in your life.
Like move away from them, and like how a current space of relationship is. to a space where there's just not as much connection of sorts, so that's like hard sometimes.
Well, yeah, and even kind of just like moving yourself away to allow yourself to grow and open up more space for the growth. So, and maybe it's not even moving away from people, more so than growing and allowing space to grow and allowing people to grow with you. But not limit yourself because people can't grow. You know, sometimes I feel like we get stuck because we want the joy, we want the love that we have and that we experience to be for everybody that we know and we love. But just realizing that everything is not for everybody and just being able to kind of make that make sense.
And so like how can we do this together, you know, like
because at the end
what are the bridges and like what's the adhesive and the collective you know, community flows and you know,
only because I feel like now, like where I am in my life, that's important. You said one keyword, collective, and that's what I'm about. Like, how are we pulling all of this great energy to do something collectively together? It doesn't make sense if it's a million of us in one separate space trying to do everything, when we know if we just trust the math and look at nature, everything show us that we better together. So yeah, I'm just trying to move in that space and be the difference.
Yeah.
That was real good too. I feel like that though.
Good.
Straight from the heart though, y'all. So you should have, after that, you should have said, beep, 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 beep. I'll say it. Beep, 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 beep. And, you know, so I'm just doing Powrgurlz shit, making Powrgurlz moves. And it's just a Powrgurlz thing. But at the end of the day, it's just about connection. It's about growing. It's about moving in our truth. And sometimes that's so hard to be so truthful because...
So true.
Because we don't want to hurt the people we love, but at the end of the day, we hurting ourselves and we not being true to ourselves. So let's rectify that. Like,
yeah,
you know
let's talk. You know, like let's
we owe that to
make
ourselves.
it. You know, so we can talk with each other and like what's the block?
Yeah.
You know, let's start there. Let's find what the blocks are. You know, like I don't know. There's all kinds of methods and wonderful ways. You know.
I don't know. What's a good method for you, sir?
Wow.
Yeah, you
like,
I called them out, y'all.
There's so many methods. I really think like integrating into the ecosystem and seeing yourself as part of something bigger than just yourself really puts you into a certain place. But you're also like not trying to mimic anything else other than playfully, perhaps, you know, in the interactions of things. You know, there's some mimicking going on, but you're still fulfilling your role just naturally by being you.
Yes.
And if you can really tap into that instinctual part of yourself and find that flow and then surround yourself with people that are able to find themselves there, you can explore that further. And when you're with people who are not able to fully explore that, you have the capacity to have patience. And sometimes you might not, but you even have patience with yourself.
And then sometimes we just need to be delusional.
My technique, though.
Sometimes let's just be but I'm just saying, look, what if we be just a little bit more delusional?
Delude me.
What if we be just a little bit more like
I could do that.
Outrageous? What if we just believed in ourselves like just a little bit more? What if we just like just crazy in love with our plans for our shit? Like, what if we just went all in crazy with our shit?
Yeah, I like this like saying. It's from Alice in Wonderland, written back in the late 1800s or something, right? It says, at least 8 impossible things before breakfast. I mean, to me, like, what does that mean? Like, witnessing a flower opening in, you know, the morning hours, that's like, it's impossible, but it's so possible. And when you see it, it's like, wow, that was impossible. So, okay, that'll be one. And then you can just count them as you go. Maybe even some of them create like little joy tears, and you can, you know, if you have a little jar or something, you could like catch some of those and save it for something that you make impossible tomorrow that you couldn't have made unless you had done that, you know. And I really like this concept too, you know, especially like being so influenced in a world with zeros and ones and all the different things that come with that. There's this like ability to find this balance too in the biological existence of that, to do things that are what I like to call incomputable. You know, it could mean, you know, it could be different things, you know, it could be mischief, you know, but it's like, I don't want to be computable.
We all love a little mischief.
I don't want to be computable. And, you know, something might be out there that compute that I would say that, right? So I'm, you know, saying it ultimately just so some things can be computed, but I want to be able to sculpt that, you know, just like, you know, the famous old sculptors of the days took chisels and hand chiseled out rocks. I want to chisel out what my digital imprint will be too, you know, and influence these algorithms naturally. I'm not like putting money, if I have capital, into things that I feel would, you know, deserve that from me. You know, it's like I value where those things go to, and yet, you know, I will use these different platforms and exist in them and flow in them and organically connect and create real connections with people like we have. I'm so grateful for like real connections in this life that we're walking together. And, you know, honestly, even too, like, if Peter over here was an android
You mean Anno
from
or
another
Peter?
planet, you know, if that was the case, you know, I would be so cool with that. Like, I love, you know, like, I'm like totally into the intergalactic kind of concept, and, you know, I want to make sure that, you know, that's kind of known, you know, that this, you know, even this concept, you know, that wood is like way more precious than diamonds on the intergalactic trade scale, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's more diamonds on other planets than there's wood.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Wow. Yeah. We can think about.
Yeah, think about that.
Well, you know what? Because I don't want to be long, but I just want to say, I just want to kind of just encourage people to be more like, just live out loud. Just say the shit, do the things, dress that way. Like, just, you only have one time in these bodies. Make it count. Make it make sense to your life. And it's not gonna be easy, but I feel like if you live in as much as you can in your truth, it just makes the ride a little better, right?
Yeah.
And that's so hard because we live in a world of where we're supposed to be type of thing, and we have expectations and all of these things. And fuck the rules. Go hard. And that's it for me.
You know, no, wait, there's one more thing, you know, just like, you know, for the archives and the flows, you know, what's like...
I'm going to be running for city council probably in the next 2 years.
No way.
For real.
Ooh, see you working out, so... I want to see you
if Donald Trump could be president, the fuck you mean? Yeah.
That's so dope.
I got 4 years.
I think you should be president.
I got 4 years.
I think you
have
should
4
be president
years.
in 2 years.
Well, I gotta be
Come
like,
on.
I gotta
I'm
be
voting
something.
for you to be president in 2 years.
Yeah, that part.
I got 20.
Write me. Y'all should have rolled me in.
Bucks on it. 20 elf bucks on it.
No,
You're
I'm just
president
saying,
in
like,
2 years.
At least we know we need more people that care about the people, and the people need to start caring about each other. Like, let's stop getting confused and let these motherfuckers feel like we are the people. Let that make sense to us. And if it don't make sense to us, let it make sense to our legacy and what we leave behind. We don't have that long, but we have enough time to make a footprint in the world, to make a difference for those that's coming up under us or behind us. So I don't know. Those are things that are kind of important to me.
Yeah.
And those are things that I'm passionate about, right?
Feel that.
That's some sexy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you know what, day, y'all.
I feel like I was just talking and talking.
Yeah, you got so much more to say, too. I know that. That's it.
That's what you... This mic is so good. I love it. So, this mic is so good.
Do we got, is this Cosmo Unifresh?
We'd very much like to have you double check those sensors. We've been getting poor readings in respiration from all three of you.
What's going on out there? Something crazy going in the kitchen. guys get some of that deer? Yeah, deer, my heart. What are you talking about? Eating deer, man? We're over here eating these squirrel cookies. No, Bambi's. It's like, what? Bambi. He's gonna eat a cartoon character. Like, what? That's me. I'll eat that. I'd eat that cartoon character up. I'd eat his mom up. I'd eat them both.
It's 6 o'clock. Do you know where
I wouldn't leave nothing but hooves. You know what I'm saying? Just some
I
hooves.
think we're pretty well under control. We got most of the stuff stowed. It's not
What
very
the
neat,
farm?
very pretty. But we still got a good amount more to go. It's unbelievable how much stuff we had left out here from the that.
Yeah, I don't know if that is. I think that's some other frequency we're picking up here, you guys. Okay, I know Pleiades and Aries and Orion were kind of aligned the other day. Do you think that might have been disturbing and getting these little frequencies that come in through to the zeros and ones and shapes and forms and comes out into this kind of way? You guys think so? Check that chicken.
Situation with the airline stress on spec 66 is 15.8.
What's going on here?
With an up arrow. And cabin press of 15.3, and I guarantee you.
Whoa. Oh, God.
Understand, BD, I guess that means... say again, Al.
The mold of your life
Guess that means you want to use B2 and D2, huh? That's affirmative. And we'd like you to hold the spin up until we...
is in your hands to bring.
we're able to give you a go for spin up now.
Greatest adventure,
December 7th, 2024.
adventure is what
Fireside. Plant Waka Waka.
day and
Anno
tomorrow
Project.
are yet
Powrgurlz.
to be said. The chances, the changes
And we got Dr.
are
Mushroom.
yours to make. The mold of your life
Who did
is
that?
in your hands to break. The greatest adventure is there if you're bold. Let go of the moment that life makes you hold. Measure the meaning can make you delay. It's time you stop thinking and wasting the day. The man who's a dreamer and never takes leave, who thinks of a world that is just make-believe, will never know passion, will never know pain, who sits by the window will one day see rain.
Wait for the little drip to come down, come down. I'm watching the rain. There ain't no rain out my window right now, but hey, I'll make me a song that goes right along into it. So hey, come on, the greatest adventure, what?
See rain. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow are yet to be said. Chances, the changes are all yours to make. The mold of your life is in your hands to break. Greatest adventure is what lies ahead.
Now it's just all about some guys that are trying to return some jewelry. It's freaking insane. Hours and hours and hours and hours, just like most of it's just like sitting in the forest like, should I return it? Did you bring the receipt? Oh, we're gonna have to hike up this whole fucking mountain now just to get to the top of this thing because you didn't bring the receipt. Oh, but I got a Wi-Fi, man, up over here on this rock. Yeah, it's this special kind of rock. Yeah, then you know what, like, you know that other one too? It's like the one about the green frog man that lives in the swamp and he's trying to convince that kid to kill his dad. What's that all about? That's Star Wars? Yeah, these things go back for us.
Greatest adventure.
I'm just.
Yeah, we just checking out the buttons, making sure they work right. And they work right. All the ones, the biological ones, like the push pad, flip switch, they all work and they do the different things, you know? Official.
Station hotline is ringing. Let's try that. Hi. You're on the air. Station hotline is ringing. Let's try that. Hi. You're on the air.
Okay. Yeah, thank you guys for coming tonight. It's a beautiful gathering of fellowship and friends. There's all kinds of mayhem, whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm looking forward to the fireside conversation Patrice and Anno are going to be getting into. You know, Elf talks a lot. I hear what I say a lot, so I always love when I get to like pop off the side and hear what other people have to say. I know there's a fine bass player here who's, you know, I like to call him Dr. Mushroom on the anonymous side of things, you know, just like I know it helps him like open up into some of his stories. And his music is brilliant and amazing. Dr. Mushrooms, he's pouring himself some tea or something back there. Yeah, check out the food carts. Yeah, this is what we do. We're growing in our roots, so there's so much I want to hear from you guys tonight. Excited for this musical performance. Are you guys chill or what? This is like such a cozy fire.
I mean, the homestead space is let's get the conversation started.
All right, so if you step closer to the mics, this one's hot, this one's hot, this one that's laying on the table's not. It could be potentially. It's easily held by hand, or it can be hooked up to the cable. Right now, the cable is hooked up over there to the instrument zone. So you guys kind of know how that ship's running, you know. Like I figure out how to take this ship apart and rewire it a little bit. Yeah, feel free to, you know, to like get cozy, to, you know, again, hop up and down, take care of what you need. We got the things naturally, and that's what we're here to talk about, you know, like it's a liberation. I'm looking for, do you feel like you're going to pop up in on the mic here?
I feel like he is, though.
He is. He's here. Should we get a chair, up in this zone?
We can move, so you can have this chair.
Let's sit this chair. Let's move.
You can have this chair.
This chair is made for you. This chair folds out for you. This chair.
Teamwork.
This chair is made for you. This chair folds out for you. Jump on down, talk right in there.
During the Civil War, tensions were flaring. It was brother against brother. Tensions were on the rise. Tensions are rising. Morgan's raiders crossed the Ohio River, raping and pillaging, stealing things they didn't need, stealing quilts. They were just mean. Among their company was a young lad named Silas Simmerhorn. He was not a soldier, but he was with Morgan's raiders. Got into Versailles. He deserted the company, possibly stealing the gold. He turned to head back home, but his horse pulled up lame. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place, between the company he deserted and the enemy he was among. He holed up and began stealing chickens, clothes, pies, hunting here and there. The frontiersmen figured it out. Somebody was out there in the woods, robbing, slinking, sneaking. They put together a posse, torches, pitchforks, and guns, lots of guns. Bloodhounds sniffed him back to what's now called Bat Cave. They prepared to enter the cave, but suddenly a pack of wolves came out of the cave. They shot a few and the others got away. They went into the cave and they found a rifle with the initials SS and a cot. Silas Simmerhorn was never found, nor was the gold.
He turned into a bat. That's that. Like there's
What a
one way to
storyteller.
skin a cat. There's like, I'm glad right now we don't have to do that. You know, like.
Okay, so maybe we should do a line and make a story. I mean, he sounded like he wanted to build a story. It's like we can build a bear.
Or like one of those places where you can take a donut and like they add different sprinkles onto it, like gummy bears and different shrivels of nuts and things like that.
Like telephone, wire, chopped up.
Oh, could you, please, sir, could you tell us a little bit about the mushrooms that you can find in the forest surrounding these parts of the Ohio River Valley?
I just found a lion's mane today.
You found a lion's mane today?
Today. Hooray.
Like little white, like how, was it a meal? Was it like 2 meals? Like how many meals?
A meal for 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lion's mane.
It was frozen.
Oh, it came in the frozen section of nature. You guys
Yes.
know about the frozen section of nature out there? Yeah? You don't know about the frozen section of nature? Okay, so like when the temperature drops and you're out foraging for mushrooms and different things, sometimes you can find things in that first freeze where it catches them frozen. And you can harvest them frozen, put them into a little freezer bag, take it home, put it in your freezer and keep it frozen. It's ready to eat. You know, it could be nettles, it could be sochan, it could be different things. Mushrooms, they're amazing. I love winter oyster mushrooms.
They're very abundant. This time of year, very abundant if it's been raining. And through the winter, if we get a warm-up spell for 3 or 4 days, they will fruit and freeze comes, they'll be frozen for your convenience.
So are they abundant in the country? Because they're not abundant in the city.
Oh,
So
I
they're
found
abundant in the
oyster.
regions that they grow in. You say abundance, but where can we find these? Can I go outside?
In the woods.
I found oysters growing out from tree stumps in New York City and Manhattan, and their capacity to show up anywhere is amazing. There's a lot more people that have developed the technology to cultivate them in different ways and grow them and make them into different, one of the side effects of growing and cultivating mushrooms is spawn for making more mushrooms. So it's kind of like a self-perpetuating thing, honestly. So yeah, there's so many angles into that question, how far do you want to go looking for them? And I know the mushrooms are out there looking for us.
So in I can't go outside in my backyard and find such mushroom.
You can't find the mushrooms find you.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Well said. Well said. Dr. Mushroom, Dr. Mushroom.
Seek and ye shall find.
So tell us about how this lion's mane found you today.
I was on my way here in the woods, and then I stopped to pick lion's mane, and it was frozen, and it took so long that when I got done, it was almost dark, and
Whoa.
I aborted the mission and turned around and went back and drove here.
Wow.
I was going to come up through the woods and try to freak you guys out.
Boo! Come crawling through one of these windows. So, as a mushroom creature that crawls around, you have other creatures that come to you in the forest and they seek different wisdom from your wisdom that you've gathered collecting mushrooms in the forest, and you know which ones are going to help with different ails and help with blood pressure and help with brain neuron connections and all kinds of things that help rebuild nerve systems and people. Can you share anything about your thoughts and experience from under the toadstool?
Mushrooms are an underutilized medicine. They're a whole kingdom. So, we've used plants for medicine for a while, and that's somewhat of a forgotten art. But the mushrooms can do things that the plants can't do. The mushrooms are immunomodulators, and each one can modulate the immune system in a different, interesting way. Oyster mushrooms can lower eosinophil levels and help combat allergies, asthma, eczema, anything that raises the eosinophil levels. Oyster mushrooms also help lower blood pressure in people who are diabetic. And they have their own set of anti-cancer properties. Turkey tails are a fascinating mushroom that has anti-influenza properties. You can make a tea from it. It's good to take while fasting. The reishi is good for autoimmune disorders and things like fibromyalgia and irritable bowel syndrome. Lion's mane can help repair damaged nerves, like from neuropathy. It can help people recover from a stroke. It can help with nerve pain related to shingles. After you get shingles, you can have a lot of nerve pain. It can help you recover from the acute shingles and post-traumatic neuralgia. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are thousands of mushrooms, many of which have anti-cancer properties. And so we know so little, it's not been something we've ever really studied.
What do you mean?
We are, in the West, we are mycophobic. We're scared of the mushrooms. They look like little penises and it scares us.
Nobody want no little penises. Y'all dangerous.
What?
In Asia, they widely use the mushrooms. I don't know if you've noticed some of the...
What's going on here? You're telling me that, about little penises, like little mushrooms?
People are scared of mushrooms. I don't know why. Maybe because like little penises. I don't know why they're scared of the mushrooms.
I know people that aren't scared of them.
Well, there are a handful of people who aren't scared of mushrooms. Those are what we call the mushroom people.
Y'all. Stuff like that. And
You can't hardly find the mushroom people. The mushroom people find you.
deeper, tell us about that, please. Like, connect that with this. It's like when something goes on sale and I see it's on sale, I just look at it and I'm like, oh my God, that's totally for me. I'm going for it. It's mine. I'm like I'm that. I'm for that. I'm for it. Is it like that?
The mushroom people work in mysterious ways.
I like mysteries. You like mysteries? You like mysteries? Do you like mysteries? You into that?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That's such a mysterious answer. I love it. That's absolutely a rational and extremely brave answer on such a beautiful day. Oh, he's out finding lion's mane, you know. It's like, take him to the boat, some people would say around here. Wouldn't they say something like that? Like, help me pick out my lucky numbers?
So what's your lucky numbers for us today?
One.
So do you feel that people have been found by the mushrooms more? And like, you know, as we were saying, mushroom cultivators and stuff people are growing things and they're finding their ways into more markets and things. Like, do you feel
it's rapidly growing because it works. You know, there's a lot of dietary supplements and things out there, but these actually work, and they work in ways that other things don't. So they're an answer to a lot of these problems that we didn't have good answers for.
Gotcha. So like over the last 10 years, do you feel like they've become different in their way they've integrated into culture? Like mushrooms, like such as you
they're
were mentioning,
exploding.
like the turkey tails. I feel like those are ones I've watched kind of people gravitate towards more. I know they were one that was early clinical research in their anti-cancer properties. Like, how inclusive are their anti-cancer properties? Like, is there like a avenue or range of colors of what kind of cancers they kind of usually are good for preventing?
Well, that's a good question. It's not been fully studied. The real good study was on women with breast cancer, and that was pretty robust. And they, the ones that got the turkey tail had improved survival and lower incidence of side effects from their chemo and radiation if they did that. But survival was increased overall and quality of life. But they're also good for the bloodborne tumors, which would be leukemia, lymphoma, and multiple myeloma. So they're good for those. They have antiviral properties too, so for influenza.
Amazing. And,
That's what I like to. That's what I think is a good treatment for influenza, is a synergistic blend of medicinal mushrooms that have activity against influenza. And there's about 11 that are really good: cordyceps, reishi, turkey tail, shiitake, maitake, and there's several others that work together. More mushrooms are always better for that kind of problem.
Yeah, I do remember talking to a fine doctor friend of mine who suggested when I had some mold problems under a basement that maybe I had a deficiency of good mushrooms in my body. And I remember taking more medicinal mushrooms that I've collected from the forest since then and finding that, yeah, I could probably, I'm not like pushing my limits and hanging out in moldy basements, give that. But I feel like a lot of certain seasonal allergies that I've had from mold seasons has kind of been erased.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine who traveled to Germany 4 times a year, and every time he would travel, he'd get sick, and He started the medicinal mushroom blend, and then he didn't get sick anymore when he traveled. And it works that way. People don't get sick as often when they are taking care and modulating the immune system with the beneficial medicinal mushrooms.
It's amazing. How does that work?
It's magic.
Yeah, we got questions.
Like the medicinal and the great things that mushrooms do for you. What about the psychedelic shit? Because I feel like if they're doing that, do they still do the same thing? Or are they, as all mushrooms, they're all different categories. They all do different.
Well, research on research on the psilocybin-containing mushrooms was prohibited from the 1970s through until just more recently. So it's just now. It's a mystery, but what we do know is from pretty limited studies. But they induce neuroplasticity, so they have potential for in a similar use as what we do for lion's mane, nerve repair, helping people with PTSD, and we've seen good data for that. It can help people with PTSD. It can help with refractory depression. Potentially, can help with alcoholism when used appropriately. They have their I think we have to be aware they do have their dangers. People can have an uncomfortable experience, and if they're not in the right setting, they can have a bad time of it. But if it's
psychedelics, you can have a bad time.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Yeah. So they can. But when used appropriately, there's a number of benefits that we don't get from other pharmaceuticals or don't have any other good options for. I think it's something that we should have our God-given right to utilize those things.
So that's a good point. Like, so anything, because these are things that nature made or whatever, so that kind of makes sense that it would do things that would benefit our bodies. So how would you know if, do you have to go to the mushroom guru? Is there a mushroom whisperer? How do you know what to do, when to do it to get what you kind of need to benefit yourself? How does that look like for just a regular person?
The mushrooms will find you.
Yeah, that's what you're going to say. I need answers.
I was just trying to say it before he did, so maybe we can get some answers, right? Let's see what kind of answers he's got for it.
There are, so what we should have is the constitutional right for religious freedom and freedom, and that includes healing ourselves how we see fit with herbs and roots and mushrooms. And there are groups who work under the protection of a religious foundation umbrella that are there for the express purpose of people who believe in the healing power of the mushrooms and their beneficial use in the right setting, and they get together and have fellowship and utilize those things in a safe setting. So that is probably the only option right now, I think, with Robert F. Kennedy.
Phone number in the website. How do we connect?
Well, I'm not gonna make any specific recommendations.
But
there's
there
things,
are, so seek
and you got, and I'm gonna tell you, buyer beware, caveat emptor on some of these groups, that you want to maybe ask around a little bit and kind of get some personal recommendations from people who've been to them and can recommend them instead of just choosing blindly. But there are, you can, if you do your search on the internet for using those search terms, religious organizations, Native American churches, and that protect peyote, the psychedelic mushrooms, the Peruvian torch cactus, and et cetera. You can find those things, and there's probably one in every state, maybe more than one in most states, and that might be a place to start. I can neither confirm nor deny. So I want to help people, but they also got to help themselves and seek out like-minded individuals. And hopefully with Kennedy being in the government, he says he's going to increase access to psychedelics, but I think that was probably going to be through a very limited government-sponsored research program for a while. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm cautiously optimistic. Maybe more people can have access to this medicine.
Isn't it so crazy? Like, even when I don't know a lot about these things, but as I'm learning more about it, it's like when you realize that the earth provides everything. And even when we're looking like people, even suffering from a lot of different things, when you're going back just to nature to kind of find the basics of like, maybe, I don't know if I want to say heal yourself, but maybe like, I don't know what I want to say with that, but maybe I just want to say going back to nature. You know what I'm saying?
The Native Americans they knew of the medicinal properties of every plant that was out there. Yeah. And it was astounding because what they used it for then when it is held up under the rigor of modern medicine, it actually works for those conditions that they were using for. It's quite amazing.
And then we know that most of the medicine that is derived from some form of natural plant, something natural that they perverted.
Yeah, but the cholesterol-lowering medications were derived from a compound found in mushrooms. As an example, that's a perfect example.
So how do we get in touch with a mushroom man, knowledgeable man like you? What's your handles and how do we connect with what you're doing?
Well, I'll be honest, I used to have a YouTube channel, Dr. Mushroom. And then when COVID hit, I was trying to provide useful, truthful information about the COVID pandemic, about the vaccinations and so forth. And I got shut down, or they just started giving me strikes and so forth. So I quit posting. But they were pretty rudimentary videos of me walking in the woods with my recording mushrooms and talking about them. But it was a lot of, that was good introductory information for people on mushroom identification and medicinal practice.
So I don't want to say too much. I have questions for days.
I want to, like, can you talk closer? Can we get this microphone, like, closer to you?
To me?
Yeah.
Oh, because you can't hear me.
Not very well. I turned it down, everything down, and it kind of...
Because what I said really didn't matter.
Yeah, that sounds so
what he
good.
said mattered all day. You heard it from Dr. Mushroom. Check it in.
For real. Cozy.
Shall not be disturbed.
When they excavated Hopewell Mound in the ancient earthwork, they found many artifacts. One artifact they found was a mushroom icon. And it was in the shade, it was wood covered with copper that had oxidized to a bluish green color. The top had like a little nipple on top. And it's thought that was a mushroom effigy that was identical to or is intended to be a representation of the Psilocybe ovoidiocystidiata, which is a very potent psilocybin-containing mushroom that grows widely in the Ohio River Valley among debris piles of the woody riparian floodplain. Right here under your nose, yes.
Right where we live.
Right where we live, yes. So
that brackish brackwash from
seek it, it shall find you, though.
From the box elder maples.
You seek and ye shall find. Do your research on the internet, then get outside. April, May, June.
Thank you so much. That's all. Give a round of applause for Dr. Mushroom.
Do you have a tag?
More mushrooms are always better.
Do you have anything else you want to share with us? Do you have other things you want to share with us before we pop off here?
More mushrooms are always better.
Nice. Mushrooms spawning everywhere, growing, and we can eat them. And yeah.
All right, so
But there's people that are scared of mushrooms. That's what I'm going away from this right now. I'm really there's this whole thing of like people that are scared of mushrooms. It's like, how can we like?
What the farm?
Because no one's scared of mushrooms. People don't want to die or be fucked up behind people mushrooms, and people want to understand the education of mushrooms. If we had more mushrooms, people probably would do less drugs and dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lack of education. Like, less McDonald's, more mushrooms. Type of shit.
Doesn't make McDonald's any money.
Well, fuck McDonald's, because they don't make us. Right, they have a mushroom burger.
Make mushroom burger. They could have their own mushroom farm at each one of those locations, like just in some shipping container on their roof, and it could have a Mick mushroom like special. We grow them in house. Franchise this out, just let that roll. Like sign up for it. This is no pyramid scheme. You could have your own mushroom farm on your franchise at McDonald's today. Sign up, wake the farm up, let them know, and maybe you'll get a discount code if they call me and like try to figure out what it was all about. But we'll put it together. The plans are already there. Just sometimes the planners don't see the master plan, but the master plan is always there.
Elf shed and see, look how different life makes in the light. I'm telling you,
so nice.
Can you keep my turn real quick and then Peter and plug in out.
Okay.
Your mics are real high.
Chicken.
I want to turn this down a little bit. Okay.
Or not Homer, Odysseus.
Okay.
I think is the name. Homer's the guy who wrote it, but
I like the Cyclops. Cyclopses are cool, right? Like they have one eye.
all right. So let me see. I mean, I might mess this up because it's brand new, and then I'll go into trains, and that will probably also mess up because it's really old.
See if it's
So,
Odyssey.
But see if you can follow along.
if
Tell
it's
me
odd enough.
if you can like sort of see a bit of a story in your head. But it's like, bring me in from sea, my dear. Light the shores once more. Guide me back on a gentle breeze and far. My sails are weary, sagging already too low, hoping at last just to blow me back. I've been long away, my dear, climbing horizons, chasing a phantom of harm. My sails are weary, clinging to threadbare road, hoping one day just to blow me back.
'cause he knows I know there's more to this. And it shows when all the little things explode. I sail around so many seas, a man can hardly master those. He knows I know there's more to this. And it shows a glimpse beyond the shores you see. I sail around so many seas, a man can hardly master those. He knows I know there's more to this. And it shows when all the things explode. I sail around so many seas, a man can hardly master those. He knows I know there's more to this. And it shows when all the living things explode. I sail around so many seas, a man can hardly master those. He knows I know there's more to this. And it shows when lives beyond the shores you see. And it shows it lives beyond the shores you see. And it shows a glimpse beyond the shores you see. Lying there, Excalibur, on a blade of grass in the ocean floor. You go to pick it up, but something stops you as you're reaching for the sword. You like to say it's conscious, but you know that it's an existential force. Something deep inside of you has seen what other swords have done before. And just before you run out of breath, you decide to forget. Bring me back. I've never been at sea this long. Somehow I seem to have drifted past that droning sense of where I've come from. Bring me back. Whatever I have learned is gone. Whatever I had seen as wrong. What I know now is I long to bring me back. I've never been at sea this long. Somehow I seem to have drifted past this droning sense of where I come from. Bring me back. Whatever I have learned is gone. Whatever I had seen as wrong. What I know now is I long to bring me back. Oh, oh,
And then thanks. So that was Odyssey. It's an interesting form. It's very different. And then this is very similar, very much a ride. So this is Trains.
You get on a train, it's heading for nowhere. You hope to be found on the side of the road. The tracks mark the way, coming from somewhere. This solid ground is not where you're going. Leave it all skin and bones of these things to find. Leave it all behind. You get on a train and ride it till you die. Next train comes out 11 o'clock. Better hurry up, better hurry to the next stop. You'll be chasing down the rail, running it down. Jumping at the tail, running around. With the next train coming at the center of town. Better hurry up now. Well, this train's going nowhere just as fast as it can. Better hurry up, juggling the luggage in the clutch of each hand. You better hurry up, you never understand. Timing is the marking of a well-measured man. Or you're gonna miss the train to the promised land. Somehow you better hurry up now. Cause running is the only way, knowing I'm getting behind. But if that train leaves a little early on, you're gonna be just fine. Well, the track saw you in with the metal grin. You better hurry up and slow down, take a seat and put a brake on the mind. Cause running is the only way, knowing I'm getting behind. But if that train leaves a little early on, you're gonna be just fine. Well, the track saw you in with the metal grin. You better hurry up and slow down, take a seat and put a brake on the mind. Dangerously so close to the train tracks as we roll around, casting shapes on my windows, softly and strong as I sit on my tea, sit with my tea, as I sit with my legs crossed, sip on my tea as three brothers are fighting. They still can't agree on the way they love, the way that they see how the trains of their life. They ought to be so much more, so much more, so much more than these little things stuck to the tracks on the floor. Thanks.
Oh my god.
They're so interesting. They're like completely unlike any other thing that I write. And it's only happened twice now that a song like that has happened in my world. It's sort of these like multi-part things, and I always try to wrap it up.
That's why I love it.
In a way.
Complexity. That's bardic tales told through all the stories in there, and there's so many
it's very
that's
narrative.
What I'm talking about.
It's very narrative. I don't know why this other one came to me. It was just on Wednesday I made that.
You just made that one
Not
day?
that one. The first one was on Wednesday. That was a Wednesday.
And this is what I did
thing.
today on the way up.
Not today. But trains is always fun. I love that. Well, the next train comes at 11 o'clock. Better hurry,
It's so
better hurry,
fun.
better hurry to the next stop.
We all jump
Well,
down.
running down, jumping up the tail, jumping around. When the next train coming at the center of town. Better hurry up now. This train's going nowhere just as fast as it can. Better hurry up, juggling the luggage in the clutch of each hand. You better hurry up, you never understand. Time is the marker of a woman's man. Or you're gonna miss the train to the promised land. Now you better hurry up now. Cause running is the only way of knowing I'd get behind. But if the train leaves a little early, you're gonna be just fine. It's like rapping. It's so fast, a little accent. Middle grin, you better hurry up and send us a seat to break up the mind. Running is the only way of knowing I'm getting behind. If the train leaves a little early, you're gonna be just fine. Till the track saw you in with the metal grin, you better hurry up and someone take a seat for the break on the mind. And then you get
Now we just left that room. Okay, let's see what's over in here. Oh, there's some weird, like,
I hear the joy.
the transitions into the different
Like,
parts.
yeah,
and-
like certain, like this, like that. I don't know what it's called. Whatever. You know how you hear
yeah, what are
now, you hear joy. You know what I mean? The songs, like when you sing that, whatever that, I really hear joy. I feel like that happiness. That's like your whole shit. I feel like when all of that feel like,
Yeah, I wish I had more songs that like brought that out. I don't have that like sort of uppity thing. Well, and that's like a very. I mean, like there aren't many styles that employ like such a such a pace. Like that's a fast pace.
That's a hop, skip, band, and
Yeah.
boogie. Yeah.
I don't know. What's a good method for you, sir?
Wow.
Yeah, you
Like,
called. I called
gotta-
him out, y'all.
There's so many methods. I really think like integrating into the ecosystem and seeing yourself as part of something bigger than just yourself really puts you into a certain place, but you're also like not trying to mimic anything else other than playfully, perhaps, you know, in the interactions of things. You know, there's some mimicking going on, but you're still fulfilling your role just naturally by being you.
Yes.
And if you can really tap into that instinctual part of yourself and find that flow and then surround yourself with people that are able to find themselves there, you can explore that further. And when you're with people who are not able to fully explore that, you have the capacity to have patience. And sometimes you might not, but you even have patience with yourself.
And then sometimes we just need to be
That's my
delusional.
technique, though.
Sometimes let's just be. But I'm just saying, look, what if we be just a little bit more delusional?
Delude me.
What if we be just a little bit more like
I could do that.
outrageous? What if we just believed in ourselves like just a little bit more? What if we just like just crazy in love with our plans for our shit? Like, what if we just went all in crazy with our shit?
Yeah, I like this like saying. It's from Alice in Wonderland, written back in the late 1800s or something, right? It says, at least 8 impossible things before breakfast. I mean, to me, like, what does that mean? Like, witnessing a flower opening in, you know, the morning hours, that's like, it's impossible, but it's so possible. And when you see it, it's like, wow, that was impossible. So, okay, that'll be one. And then you can just count them as you go. Maybe even some of them create like little joy tears. And you can, you know, if you have a little jar or something, you could like catch some of those and save it for something that you make impossible tomorrow that you couldn't have made unless you had done that, you know? And I really like this concept too, you know, especially like being so influenced in a world with zeros and ones and all the different things that come with that. There's this like ability to find this balance too in the biological existence of that, to do things that are what I like to call incomputable. You know, it could mean, you know, it could be different things, you know, it could be mischief, you know, but it's like, I don't want to be computable.
We all love a little mischief.
I don't want to be computable. And, you know, something might be out there that compute that I would say that, right? So I'm, you know, saying it ultimately just so some things can be computed, but I want to be able to sculpt that, you know, just like, you know, the famous old sculptors of the days took chisels and hand chiseled out rocks. I want to chisel out what my digital imprint will be too, you know, and influence these algorithms naturally. I'm not like putting money, if I have capital, into things that I feel would, you know, deserve that from me. You know, it's like I value where those things go to, and yet, you know, I will use these different platforms and exist in them and flow in them and organically connect and create real connections with people like we have. I'm so grateful for like real connections in this life that we're walking together. And, you know, honestly, even too, like, if Peter over here was an android
you mean Anno
from another planet, you know, if that was the case, you know, I would be so cool with that. Like, I love, you know, like, I'm like totally into the intergalactic kind of concept, and, you know, I want to make sure that, you know, that's kind of known, you know, that this, you know, even this concept, you know, that wood is like way more precious than diamonds on the intergalactic trade scale, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's more diamonds on other planets than there's wood.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Wow. Yeah, we can think about
different. Think about that.
Well, you know what? Because I don't want to be long, but I just want to say, I just want to kind of just encourage people to be more like, just live out loud. Just, say the shit, do the things, dress that way. Like, just, you only have one time in these bodies. Make it count. Make it make sense to your life. And it's not going to be easy, but I feel like if you live in as much as you can in your truth, it just makes the ride a little better, right? Yeah. And that's so hard because we live in a world of where we're supposed to be type of thing, and we have expectations and all of these things. And fuck the rules. Go hard. And that's it for me.
You know, no way, there's one more thing, you know, just like, you know, for the archives and the flows, you know, what's like...
I'm going to be running for city council probably in the next 2 years.
No way.
For real.
Ooh, see you working out, so... I want to see you
if Donald Trump could be president, the fuck you mean? Yeah.
That's so dope.
I got 4 years.
I think you should be president.
I got 4 years.
I
have 4 years. In 2 years. I got to be
Come
like,
on.
I got to
I'm
be
voting
something.
for you to be president in 2 years.
Yeah, that part.
I got 20.
Write me. Y'all should have rolled me in.
Bucks on it. 20 elf bucks on it.
No,
You're
I'm just saying, like,
in 2 years.
At least we know we need more people that care about the people, and the people need to start caring about each other. Like, let's stop getting confused and let these motherfuckers feel like we are the people. Let that make sense to us. And if it don't make sense to us, let it make sense to our legacy and what we leave behind. We don't have that long. But we have enough time to make a footprint in the world, to make a difference for those that's coming up under us or behind us. So, I don't know. Those are things that are kind of important to me. And those are things that I'm passionate about, right?
Feel that.
That's some sexy shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know what to do, yeah.
Like I was just talking and talking.
Yeah, you got so much more to say too. I know that.
That's what you. This mic is so good. I love it. So this mic is so good.
You could be free. Each hand that comes by your side, and you can know don't wanna die young, but I'll die when I do. Not waiting on something to prove. I won't think for a moment about the place where I'll go. 'Cause dreaming is all just the same. When you're passing asleep and your heart stops its beat, we could be in that same place again. We can be free, floating with anyone, holding each hand that comes by our side, and we could know nothing, nothing of anger or hatred, if only we'd listen to me. But the dusk, it always comes, and I will wait for morning to break my heart to pieces, back to dust. And I will wait for morning, wait for morning. I don't wanna be clever, being clever's for fools. I just wanna think and learn and such. Don't want to die lonely, don't want to die soon. I just want to be loved by you. Don't think for a moment about the place where I'll go. Dreaming is all just the same. When I pass into sleep and my life is complete, I'll be in that same place again, where I can be free, floating with anyone, holding each hand that comes by my side. And I could know nothing, nothing of anger or hatred, if only I listened to me. If only I listened to me. I always feel the need to. I always feel the need to caveat that song that it's meant to be like from the perspective of the heart.
You don't need to caveat that song. If they didn't get it, it wasn't fucking meant for them.
Sure.
But go ahead.
Well, just because like the tagline of "If only we'd listen to me" is just a little bit like, you know, it's not meant to be like the me that is me personally.
Right.
It's like listen to your heart. Like that's the me in that, right? That's sort of the heart is singing the song, and it's just like if only you listen to me, you know, all these things, you know. If only you listen.
I think I got that because at the end you wanted to say I listen.
If only I listen.
Right. So I felt
to
like
me.
that was kind of like obvious in the song.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
so, and that's the other thing is I would never deny the capacity or the reality of being clever, but it's not a thing that is like the premise of the song is to not desire it, right? Like desire intellect and, you know, desire the strength to do what you can in your environment and to do those things that would give you safety and control and like power to help yourself and the people that you care about. But I think like the whole point of this was a reflection on like, I think the term clever is commonly associated with like a deviousness, a deviousness, a deviousness, a deviousness. But that one's really interesting for the same reason because, and you can kind of tell in the chorus. So it's like, think about the first verse here.
I never made a promise that I knew I couldn't keep, and I'm all the worse off for it.
Heavy.
Instead, I work for hours, planting things in a garden I may never see, and I'm all the worse. Do you think I'm worse off for it? 'Cause I may never quit. If I did, who would I be? But I promise you now, I'll find a way out if I need.
So that promise.
But first I gotta find that thing in my mind which holds the chain that's always hanging over me. And then I gotta go somewhere all alone and find a puzzle that's wrapped around a key. What could it mean?
So I like to think that that is the admission of the idea that throughout the song, I am making a promise that I know that I can't keep. Right? So like the idea that you have like this sort of esoteric winding is sort of an admission that like the initial promise, you know,
I promise you now, I'll find out somehow if I need.
Because I conceptualize this song as
Where did these come from?
This song,
did this happen to you?
This song is a reflection on the pain that I give to others by doing what I do, and a promise to those people that I'm okay, and that I'll be okay, and that if I'm not, it'll be okay. And because what I do is interestingly not super well suited to the environment that I'm in, and so there's a lot of pain there, and so this is just sort of my reflection on that in terms of how I know that it affects the other people in my life. And yeah, I think that the idea of this sort of like making I don't know how many promises that I do make in my life. This was something that we talked about earlier, is like expectations of others and yourself, and like understanding that like those things are really not very foundable. Like there's not a lot of foundation for our own expectations oftentimes. Like what you expect of others is like there's an infinite number of little worlds out there that you just can't control. So your expectations are just like this little wish in a well that isn't listening to you. And it's like, okay, well, that's a nice expectation. Something like that. Let's see. I need to practice this. This would be a lot of fun to like do at full pace, you know, like with really knowing how it goes. There's just so many cool licks. Need to practice this. It's gonna be a lot of fun to like do a full like really know how it goes. There's just so many cool licks.